All right. Let's go ahead and start talking about some motivation, some meditation, some inspiration. If it's not one of the three, I don't want it. Where are you guys' mentality? What is it that you're asking yourself every single day? What are the challenges that you're facing off against? There's a lot of things that we face off against on a daily basis that we ask ourselves the question, is what I'm doing today, what is it bringing me? Where is it bringing me? What kind of challenges am I facing off against? And when you're going through challenges, when you're facing off against things, when you're asking yourself the question, often we don't remember that that is the best time. It is the place where we grow the most, where what we're going through, we have the ability to make it through. So here I am asking you guys that same question, asking you if you have what it takes, if your mentality is in place, if you're strong inside of your mind, if your ability is to grow and to expand and to manifest, and what is it that you're manifesting today? And so here I am, like every single day I get out there and I start to look after it, start to get after it, start to ask these questions. It was down a little bit there, get on top of it, getting out there and, focusing. Yesterday, a couple days ago, was with some friends, and they had said, you've grown. We could see you a lot more healthy inside, a lot more healthy in mentality, and we got to stay with that positivity. We got to stay with that ability inside of ourselves to believe in who we are. We got to stay with that ability to overcome, to truly focus to the point where we start to become positive, where we start to utilize our positivity, where we start to utilize our ability inside of who we are, and it takes that place inside, it takes that place of mentality, it takes that ability to continue to grind even when other people would give up. One of the things that is the best part of life is when you make decisions for yourself, when you choose to do something and start to become strong from within. I think about how to get there, what it takes to overcome, to truly manifest, and I'm reminded by that question, is what I'm doing today, is it motivation? What is it that I'm doing today? What is it that's bringing me closer to my dreams, closer to my goals, closer to my manifestation? And I can definitely see the growth. I could see the movement. I could see, like now I'm over 12,000 members on Facebook. We got the podcast, YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Twitter, Google, Apple Podcasts going on. People asking about, when are you going to do your next video, Marcel? What are you going to do in your next video? So let's go ahead and start talking a little bit about that, right? One of those places that's very beautiful to visit is when you're looking at the sunset, when you're actually out there and you're truly starting to feel it for yourself, when you're starting to feel like the things that you're doing, the places that you're going, the people that you're talking to are seeing you growing. They're seeing you manifest. They're seeing you achieve and overcome your challenges, and what kinds of challenges can you overcome with that kind of mentality? What kind of challenges can you overcome with the ability inside of yourself? I recognize that sometimes doing different types of practices, changing things up, going to new places, visiting new things, and a lot of the habits that we have are broken by our mentality. They're broken by the ability to get inwards, the ability to overcome. And when you're headed inwards, you might be facing off against some kind of pain today. I went through some very painful times. I went through some times and some places where I didn't know if I could make it through them, if I could find a way to overcome those kinds of challenges, and inside of those, you don't know any better, right? So when you're facing off against them, you don't know any better. And so what is the best way to stay positive? What is the best way to open up? And what is the best way to use the tools and the gifts that you have, And when you start to feel it and you start to see it, and when other people that are around you start to see it, they start to become motivated by you. They start to become motivated because you were able to do it, then I might be able to do it too. And so, how can we focus to the point where positivity becomes the result? How can we focus to the point where when we're in the position, we're getting that highest level position because we truly earn it? A lot of people, they get into the position, they get into the place, they go through those types of challenges, but they're not willing to focus. They're not willing to manifest. They're not willing to just spend a few minutes doing what it takes. See, I got my butt kicked really bad this last week. I went and relaxed a little bit, but I was very sick. Got really sick, got really down, got cold. Haven't had a cold in almost a year. Just got basically wiped out there for a few days. Then I'm back on top of it, and how do we do that? How do we utilize it? How do we utilize the mentality? How do we get back up when we're kicked down? A lot of times when you are in that at the place of distress, you don't know how to get out. And in those times you might feel like there's nothing better than what you have, but you got to look for that better place. You got to look for that better time. You got to look for that better manifestation within who you are. See, your energy inside is very important, okay? What you put in your system, what you manifest, what you vibrate outwards is very important. And, sometimes when we visit new places and we go to places, we see the energy and we find the part of ourselves that makes us live, the part of ourselves that opens us up. And I had a reminder of that this week. I had a reminder from those people that said, you're a great person just who you are. You're beautiful for the person that you are, and we see the challenges that you were going through. We see the things that you were facing off against. We could see it before even you could see it. And sometimes that's great. When others can see your challenges, when others can see that, and sometimes you might be trying to come up with an explanation, but the explanation is already there. It's in what work you do. It's in what places you go. It's in what people you speak to. And so your vibration matters very much. Your ability inside of who you are matters very much. Your ability to overcome and to truly enable the mind, to enable the ability inside of who you are to manifest. And so what kind of tools do I use on a daily to get there? One of those things that is very important is your diet. Another thing that's very important is getting an exercise. Is getting out there and getting a little bit of time for yourself, getting a little bit of breath work, getting a little bit of get a lake, get an ocean, get something. Get out there and do something on a daily. Get a little bit of sunlight in your eyes. Get a little bit of sunlight on your back, Sometimes it's nice to get a little bit of sunburn. You know what I'm saying? So how do we start to overcome from there? How do we start to manifest the dreams that we want? Manifest the people that we want in our lives and our purpose. And this is what this channel is about, asking that question. How do we get motivated? What does it take to get motivated? A lot of people stop themselves. I just got a laptop. My friend Richard just gave me a laptop. We just went over and saw Richard, his kid's like 1 year old now, and sitting there with a friend, visiting a friend I've been friends with about 20 years. Okay, 21 years we've been friends. And sitting back, laughing it up, and it's in that universe that we find those ways. It's in that universe that we start to find that ability. We start to believe in ourselves, and we start to believe in our being that we're worth it. And do you see yourself as worth it? How do you start to use your gifts and your talents? I am so grateful that the people that are in my life did not give up on me, did not just say, hey, you're not worth it. And it's great to have friends. It's great to have people who you could say, hey, I know that I'm not perfect. And at a certain point inside, you have to own up to it. You have to realize that you put yourself in those positions. And it's not to punch yourself, it's not to put yourself down, it's to own up to it, to say, yeah, I messed up. I truly put myself in a place where I've learned. And is that learning growth? Is it a place where we overcome? Is it a place where we find the way to overcome? And I know some of you out there might have made mistakes or been through challenges, but I got news for you. We all do. We all have challenges. We all have things to work on. And so this is where positive thinking comes in. Positive thinking comes in when you're ready to say, hey, I am okay with being myself. I know that I have made mistakes. I know that I have messed up in ways that I know that, I am fortunate to be who I am. I am fortunate to overcome. I am fortunate to manifest, It's kind of interesting because, I do a lot of shakes. I've been doing shakes for a very long time. I do creatine, protein, BCAA, green vibrance, maximum vibrance, stuff like that. And, it's a very important part of the diet is staying hydrated out there, guys. It's actually getting enough liquids and fluids into your system to where you aren't cramping up, where you aren't getting headaches, where you actually are in a place where you're giving yourself a little bit of time every day. And, I do that. But the thing is, a lot of people view it one way. They view meditation just as the breath work. They view meditation just as that. But what about the time you spend breathing next to a lake? What about the time you spend next to an ocean? Get a little bit of that time in every day for yourself. Reach outside, see the sun. And you will see the blessings start to come your way. You will start to see the challenges start to overcome. When you start to see that the part of yourself that vibrates out, where the light inside starts to light up in this world. And that's where the internal starts to open up. That inwards journey is utilizing the process. It's utilizing the person within. It's utilizing the manifestation that you are. And every single part of you is a blessing. Every single part of your being. Every single part of your purpose is to overcome your challenges. It is to utilize that part within. It is to utilize that part of who you are. You see what I'm saying? We cut ourselves off from our gifts. We cut ourselves off from our abilities. We are the ones who limit ourselves. And how do we open ourselves back up? How do we start to see that? Because like yesterday was a reminder of that. It was that, you put yourself in that place, Marcel. You put yourself in that time. You put yourself in that ability, And there were people that, saw this. They saw these kind of challenges. And the ones that truly saw what I went through, they saw the things that I faced off against, they saw that I did it to myself. So how do we start to see that as a positive angle? We can utilize it. We can get inwards. We can examine the challenges that we face off against. We can spend a little bit of time by ourselves, spend a little bit of time inside of who we are, spend a little bit of time manifesting positive thoughts, positive energy, positive ability, and overcoming our challenges. And how do you start to become embraced? It was amazing for others to inspire to be better, inspire to be more, inspire to uplift, to know that the knowledge and the focus was utilized as a discipline, that the utilization from within uplifts, the utilization from within overcomes, the utilization is beautiful. And in that place and in that time, you might be seeing yourself in a place of struggle. You might be going through something that you feel like nobody else can but you. And when you're doing that, remember that there are people around you watching you. They are studying you. They are manifesting. And that you are an inspiration in this world. That you are a light. That when you connect your focus and your knowledge together, you can become an inspiration. You can ask that question, is what I'm doing today, is it motivation? Is it meditation? Is it inspiration? And watch as the world changes around you. Be that blessing in this world. Uplift other people. As I close, I just want to say to you all, blessings, blessings, blessings. As always, Namaste.